and welcome to My Mom's Basement, presented by Barstool Sports and 3Chi. I am your host, Robbie Fox, and with me in person is my main man, Clem. We are here for a What If Episode 5 recap. It is the Marvel Zombies episode. What if zombies?
I love that was the title. What if zombies? It's like, fuck it. It's a little bit kind of like the zombie revolution. What was that, like 2012, 13?
Yeah, around Walking Dead era, right?
Yeah. You'd always get like how to survive a zombie apocalypse. It was like BuzzFeed lists and shit like that. So
they had the kits of like zombie apocalypse survival kit. They came with the astronaut ice cream and
exactly.
All that ridiculous stuff like that. But this was a fun episode. It was not as, I guess, well crafted and thought out and deep as last week. It was kind of just like surface level fun horror movie. Went a bit like more gruesome than I thought it would. There were some kills in this where I was like, oh shit, okay, this is back to last week where we're getting mature with it, but very enjoyable. Another one where we're 5 weeks in and none of these have felt like a waste of time or like none of them have let me down, I'll say.
Yeah, exactly. I was entertained the whole time, and this is someone who is most certainly not a zombie guy. All those zombie apocalypse things, I never really got it. It's kind of like when the internet keeps hammering something. I didn't get on the ground floor, didn't get on the second, third. I was like, every time I'd see it, I just swipe to the next thing. But I enjoyed this episode. It's also like The Walking Dead. I feel like people who still watch is The Walking Dead still around? I know
it is. It shockingly still is.
People fucking despise it, but I feel like they can't quit it at this point because they've come this far, right? Are you one of those guys?
No. I was gone when my guy Glenn died. He was my favorite, and I knew he was going to die because I kind of read the comic books up to that point. But as soon as they killed him off in just such gruesome fashion, he got his fucking head smashed in by, not Norman Reedus. Norman Reedus is a good guy. By Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Yeah, I was out on it right then and there.
So there you go.
I think that was the point where a lot of people jumped off to. It was like season 7, and now they're on, I think, 12 or something.
I'll be honest too. Like when I saw this was going to be the episode, I didn't know if we would even get like a legitimate backstory to how it all happened without just maybe a little sprinkling. But the fact that they went as much as they did, and then you get like a legitimate zombie horror movie. It was kind of like it was the horror genre, right?
Very much
and
so.
I think they did a good job.
I feel like they made a direct reference, which we can get to a zombie movie. I think they made like a pretty big Zombieland reference with Peter Parker's rules of how to survive the apocalypse. Let's get right into it. We're in the Infinity War era, which excited me right away. When we do the intro again, Hulk going back down to Earth, crashing into the Sanctum.
I love that.
Nobody was there this time. He even says, he's like, Thanos is coming. He looks up and he's like, oh shit, I'm just alone here. So he looks out, the streets are cleared. We see our guy Ebony Maw. This is the second time we've seen him in What If. And thank God, because like we wanted more out of him. Get to see him for a little bit in Endgame. We were excited about that. More fucking Ebony Maw here.
I remember when we did the Infinity War recap about it, and I said that was kind of like someone that I kind of fell in love with, and I was so bummed that we lost him the way we did, and it was so quick in it all. And the fact that he's just been back, I'm like, fuck yes. Even though Tony Stark was back, zombie. It's like we cannot just get Tony Stark for an episode just being happy, everything going good. But the fact we got the Maw Man made everything all right. And for all the people that were crying like little babies because the goddamn Infinity Stones are being used as paperweights, they referenced the Infinity Stones in the fucking introduction of every What If, and we got, the legitimate Infinity War beginning here. We can just settle down and like just realize some of us might have overreacted to that first episode. All right?
Yeah.
Get off Waldron's back. Even though that son of a bitch, I know there's a whiteboard out there and he's not admitting.
And shout out Waldron. Heels made the Barstool reference this week. It's on Twitter. I blogged it. Pretty damn awesome. And I'm excited because when I got the Heel screeners, they gave me episodes 1 through 4. Episode 5 comes out next week. So now I'm finally caught up with everyone. I can watch the episodes as they're coming out.
And a little, sideways slant here, or a little promotion, self-show promotion here. I think we talked about it like 2 weeks ago. I think this might be the next golden age of wrestling, might be starting right now. Based on everything I'm seeing on my timeline, people are going fucking crazy. AEW is going for it.
I just did a recap of AEW with Sean Ross Sapp. I saw you saw that on Twitter.
You Jannetti'd my ass.
Yeah, you put the Jannetty thing because I called us the Mega Powers. But I've known this guy, Sean Ross Sapp, for so many years. Since I was like in high school, we followed each other on Twitter, and now he's like the #1 journalist in wrestling. So we did a podcast breaking it down. He was there. People seemed to dig it. He actually was the one that broke the news that CM Punk was going to come back.
Oh, wow.
So he's like coup de grace of wrestling journalists. So check that out if you're interested. If you're interested in AEW, me and Brandon Walker are also going to SmackDown this week at the Garden. So we'll get some content from there. wrestling renaissance is here. I think the war is upon us, and that is great for the wrestling business.
I saw Mick Foley was like, that, and Mick Foley's not coming out and being like, there's a problem here.
And Kev, by the way, who will join us later on for What Ifs, said that he might be all in on AEW. He texted me last night. He's like, when's AEW on? Wednesday nights? I might be in on this stuff. So I think we're getting multiple people in the basement talking about wrestling in the near future.
Business is about to pick up.
Let's talk about the rest of this What If episode, though. We see zombie Iron Man, a couple other zombie Avengers come through these portals, and Banner's excited at first. He's like, oh, yes, Tony, yeah, over here. And they start eating the Maw, the big guy, and he's like, whoa, oh, all right, that seems like overkill, yeah.
Did you get kind of the COVID vibes where you saw the empty New York City streets?
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
That really fucked me up.
Yeah, like in quarantine, yeah, you see like the papers flying around, nothing in the streets. By the way, I have a canker sore. If I'm talking weirdly, my mouth is like on fire right now. It's rough. This is my flu game.
I remember the other day about canker sores because I used to get them all the time, and when I had braces when I was a kid, you'd always get them because they'd hit the braces, and I'm like, man, thank God I just grew out of it. I don't know if I just grew out of it or what my body just figured out how to fight it.
I think I get one a month. They are brutal. I don't know what to do about it. If you know what to do about canker sores, hit me up.
Hit them up. I'll tell you right now, I think I'd rather be a zombie than have canker sores. Because a zombie, it's like, all right, you're the undead, and you just
and I got to do podcasts too. I feel like I'm talking like an idiot. And I'm like, oh, Jesus. If I'm talking like an idiot, I apologize. A bunch of bugs come through. I hate bugs. I couldn't believe we had back-to-back bug episodes. The cape, Doctor Strange's cape comes through, which we love the cape. We talked about it last week.
Magic
carpet, yeah. They save Banner. It winds up being the Wasp and Spider-Man. So we find out that Hope Van Dyne's mom, the Wasp's mom, Michelle Pfeiffer, was actually patient zero. When they went into the quantum realm to find her, she had become a zombie. That was awesome. I loved the whole quarantine story, how it started. And they said that the zombie Avengers, once they were infected, it was all over for everyone else because they kept their intelligence, they kept their powers, and they just were hungry for brains. So they pretty much killed the whole world, the Avengers.
Fucking Hank Pym 2 times in 3 episodes? Is that where we're at right now? Where he
I know. What did Michael Douglas do backstage to someone at Marvel?
It's like, all right, now you're going to start the zombie apocalypse that completely swallows the whole world. I guess it kind of just hammers home just how important Pym is. And again, as someone that never actually watched both Ant-Man movies, I'm like, all right, good. This is a good way to hammer that home. Yeah, I get it. My 30-minute cartoons instead of my 20-minute YouTube recaps. And there's a third one coming out, right?
Yeah. So the third one is going to be the debut of Kang for the movie universe. So you're going to have to catch up by then.
Jonathan Majors is going to fucking crush that role. I cannot wait. Again, seeing Tony Stark, and I get to see my guy, but then I see him as a zombie. He's not alive. I just don't get alive, Tony Stark. It's not right. It's upsetting, and I don't like it one bit. It's really fucking me up.
I had to see my guy as well. You see him there.
Yeah.
I mean, not only I had to see him as a zombie, he got snoked in this episode. I mean, right in the stomach, right in half, by his own best friend, too, Bucky Barnes.
Yeah, exactly. And we get fucking Wong getting decapitated. I was like, Jesus, that was killing
disturbing.
Wong now?
That was I don't want to see Wong die. No more Wong deaths, Marvel. No, not even in What If, not even in the cartoon. We get to meet our zombie hunting team via Peter Parker's Zombieland-style rules video. Yep. It's Bucky, Happy Hogan, Sharon Carter, and Okai from Black Panther from Wakanda. And they see a beacon that goes off in New Jersey. They have a beacon that goes off from New Jersey. Favreau makes a joke at New Jersey's expense here that I did not appreciate at all. I was watching this with my girlfriend this morning, and he says, my girlfriend just moved to New Jersey, so I keep trying to show her, like, oh, look, great thing about New Jersey. He's like, we got to go to New Jersey. I'm like, oh, look at this. They're going to New Jersey, the place from, Endgame and all that. And then he's like, just when I thought it couldn't get worse, now we have to go to Jersey. And I was just like, John.
I was like, burn. That was my notes there.
John.
New York, home of the Mets. I was like, that feels good, baby. The Mets getting shouted out by Peter Parker, Queens guy, who's a fan of the Amazins. And then, we got to go to Jersey. Burn. Bob Fox getting fucking killed.
I hated
this episode.
that.
I loved it.
From my own guy, too, from John Favreau. I felt like when the Islanders stole the yes chant, and they have to do it again. I hate that.
That hurts.
The team went to Grand Central. I almost said Central Park. They went to Grand Central. Again, COVID vibes from Grand Central.
That fucked me up. I came back the first time I was in the city, basically since COVID outbreak, was March of 2021. It was 5:30 p.m. and I think I counted 12 people in the main terminal.
Yeah.
You go there at 3:30 in the morning when there's no trains running, and there's more than 12 people.
There's 40, 50, 60, 70 people there.
They might be high on different kinds of drugs. They might be in various states. Yeah, exactly.
They're not going to sue you.
High.
You don't have to throw in an allegedly. They're high.
They're high as fuck. There's rats running around. It's a fucking disaster scene.
Rats swimming around last week. Did you see that video?
God, yeah.
Oh my God.
So seeing that at 5 o'clock in the afternoon on the commute home on a Tuesday would fuck me up. And that's just the zombie apocalypse in a fucking fictional world. Complete mindfuck. Big time COVID vibes.
Speaking of mindfucks, we have to watch Jon Favreau, Happy Hogan, die. He gets shot with a grappling hook, pulled into the darkness, and when he comes out, he's already a zombie. And then Sharon turns his little Iron Man hand against him and blows his own fucking head off. Like, holy shit.
Now, were you like Happy burned you? So were you happy to see him get fucking got? Because I was
like, you see,
yeah.
If you would have went to New Jersey a little quicker, maybe you would have made it to the promised land.
If you never left New Jersey, you'd
Guess
still
what?
be
He
alive.
died in New York, didn't he?
And by the way, I had my first Jersey, and I'm just gonna say Taylor ham, pork roll, whatever the fuck you said.
I heard about that.
I have not pledged my allegiance yet. Fucking really good,
right?
Anyone who goes out there, you go to Jersey, you gotta get it. I got
North
it on
Jersey,
a roll.
It's a Taylor ham. If you're in South Jersey, it's a pork roll. Get it right.
Yep, exactly. And if again, I'm anti whatever Philly people say because I hate fucking they're my rivals in all sports.
Then you're probably a Taylor ham guy.
I'm probably a Taylor ham guy. Okay, it's like a saltier version of bacon, and it's like a little thinner. You just got to like
almost like Canadian bacon, but
yes.
like a little different flavor. I mean, if you're in Jersey, you got to get one.
Got to get it.
That was when my girlfriend moved to New Jersey. The first thing that I told her, like, all right, this is kind of the thing that you get now. You got to try it out.
You don't want to hear people telling you have to get it, so just get it now. So then people will be like, "I've had it already. Stop fucking bothering me." They're gonna show you where Bada Bing's is, and they're gonna tell you to get a sandwich with fucking some sort of thinly sliced pork meat, no matter what they call it.
We get to see Falcon Zombie, or Zombie Falcon, rather. He flies in. I thought it was funny that he was still able to fly, use all of his tech as a zombie. And he also gets murdered pretty brutally.
Sorry, it's your friend.
Okay, yeah. Sharon, I already said Sharon makes zombie Happy blow his own head off. Spider-Man pulls the train out of there as they were trying to get it started. He starts pulling it out, and then the cape saves him from the horde of zombies, and he wears the cape, which I thought was awesome. I think there's probably a comic book where he's worn that, because I'm pretty sure in Into the Spider-Verse, when they go into the little spider cave and there's all the different suits, I think one of them had the Doctor Strange cape, because Miles says, like, oh, look, see? Like, Spider-Man does wear a cape.
Yeah, I feel like you might be right about that.
So I think somewhere down the line there has to be a comic where, like, that's actually a thing that happens, right?
And Sienna came in the room at this point and made me watch it. I was like, you're not going to, like, this is the second one in a row you really can't watch. And she just fucking was tickle pink with the cape. She just loved seeing the cape out there. The cape is really, like, I am such an asshole where my favorite Star Wars characters are like a droid, a spaceship. The cape is moving up my favorite Marvel characters at an alarming pace. It's like I don't like humans. Or living things. I like fake things.
I'll say this. You haven't seen Shang-Chi yet. When you do, you're going to have a new creature that you fall in love with. It doesn't even have to say anything, and you're going to fall in love with it. I'm telling you, I'm not even going to have to point out who it is. As soon as you see it, you're going to be like, oh, there it is, and I love it.
And let me see. The only reason I haven't seen it is because Labor Day weekend, it's like the kids, it's fucking crazy. My kids don't start school until September 10th. Then they're off on Saturday and Sunday. Then I think Monday there's a holiday. So they don't go back till Tuesday. So I just haven't been able to see it. But everything I'm hearing about it has been great from you, from obviously the Lights Camera Barstool guys, from just the internet in general. And it feels like, it almost is like Marvel, these characters that aren't as well known, like the Guardians. Everyone goes in with maybe lower expectations, and they're blown away, and they're like, that fucking movie was awesome. So you've said it's awesome, and again, I've heard nothing but good to great things, which always scares me, because then I'm gonna be like, what was that all about? But I can't wait to see this creature. So there will be a My Mom's Basement at some point.
Totally. As soon as you see it, we'll do a My Mom's Basement about it. And I interviewed Dallas Liu, who plays Awkwafina's younger brother in the movie. He's got a little small role.
His name is Awkwafina?
Her name is Awkwafina. Yeah. She's awesome, too.
This is going to be a prop. You
not
can't
in
just
the movie.
name yourself.
Not in the movie. In real life.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say, because that's a water company.
It is.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. As long as
I don't know if she was born with that name. I don't know if it's her name, but she's like, that's who she's billed as in the movie. It's just like Cher. It's just one name. Awkwafina. Yeah. She's in Crazy Rich Asians too. She's really funny in that. She's a great actress, but she plays, Dallas Liu plays her younger brother. He'll be on the show when we do the recap. That'll be like attached to the episode, a big Shang-Chi special.
And it's Shang-Chi, not Shang-Chi.
It's Shang-Chi.
Okay, good to know.
They clarify it in the movie. It's like Sean, but like Shang.
It fucked me up. Tyrod Taylor. Tyrod. He goes by Tyrod, but he never
Really?
corrected me. I'm like,
for a really long time, I would say William Dafoe, but it's Willem.
Yep.
That's fucked up too, Willem. Green Goblin.
I mean,
head
that's
ass.
how you become the Green Goblin.
Yeah.
Everyone keeps calling you William their whole life.
Cap Zombie comes onto the train. He kills Sharon Carter. Yikes, not a good look from my boy Cap. Bucky comes in out of nowhere, though, Snokes him with the shield, like we said. Wasp actually does what we wanted Thanos to do, or what we wanted Ant-Man to do to Thanos. Doesn't go up the ass. She goes in the mouth of zombie Sharon, and then she gets big, but she gets cut in the process. She starts to become a zombie as the train breaks down. She sacrifices herself by becoming super big, carrying everyone over to the camp, puts them down, and who do we see in there but fucking Vision? That sus motherfucker, Paul Bettany, and he has all of the zombies outside of the fence. They're not coming in to the camp, and we find out that he is ultimately sus in this episode. I mean, even
King
more
sus.
so than he was in the Lights, Camera, Barstool interview, because he's got Scott Lang's head in a jar like it's fucking Walt Disney. He's like, yeah, I've cured him. And then we go find T'Challa, prisoner for his zombified wife, Wanda. He's feeding superheroes, all people, I don't know, just humans to his zombie wife now. Pretty fucking dark, pretty fucking crazy.
I hear Baba Yaga and the witch, and I was like, it didn't even register in my brain. So I don't know what that says about me, but I was like, oh, what the fuck is he? I'm thinking actually about John Wick because they call him Baba Yaga, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, how the fuck is John Wick about to come into the
That would have been
MCU?
awesome.
Holy shit. Like, I was freaking out about it. And then, of course,
By the way, that's a what if, a John Wick zombie movie. I'm in.
Yeah, and I saw he's kind of like, he looks like John Wick, Keanu in the new Matrix,
Yeah.
right? So we
Which
have a
I'm
lot
so
of different
excited
ways.
for. We've talked about my love of the Matrix. I can't wait to see that trailer.
Yeah, oh, that's good. And I did not love 3, but I have hope
me
for
neither.
4.
3 stinks.
3 stinks.
Three
2
stinks.
was like hit or miss. It still had some of the old pull of it, and you were still being told the story. 3 was a goddamn disaster. I think I actually did like a clickbait Clem that John Wick was in the MCU. It was like a My Mom's Basement thing too. I don't remember how I got there, but I remember doing it. Cap eating Sharon was some dark shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the fact that, like, let's be honest, it was kind of like Spider-Man was like the leader of this, but it was kind of like, it wasn't even the B team. It was the C team. It's like Happy. Oh yeah, Sharon. It was like that kind of level of people. And then they're just getting, their heads blown off. They're getting eaten. Seeing Bucky use the shield like he did was awesome. The thing when Wasp says I'm covered in Sharon, that was kind of gross.
Yeah,
that was kind of a gross.
gross.
Like I saw it, and I'm seeing that as the closed caption, so I didn't like that. And I don't know if you noticed, I saw the Watcher when the train passed.
Yeah.
I was like, I did the fucking
The Rick Dalton.
The Rick Dalton, yes. And Hope, the real MVP. Like, that's the move you always want to see. It wouldn't have worked for the story, but seeing a giant zombie where she becomes like,
well, she did
zombified.
at the end.
Oh fuck!
She grabs the ship
Yes.
really briefly.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's right.
it
I
was
forgot
for
about
2 seconds, but it would have been cool to see like them have to battle the giant zombie for sure.
They probably have her like, we can only make her do so much, or else you have a giant zombie who's going to kill everybody. And what's the whole point of this episode?
Wanda is awakened. She kills a bunch of the team. She threw Bucky into Bolivian. Banner turns into the Hulk. He fights Wanda while the others escape, and they are going to Wakanda, the Promised Land, and we get to see a zombie T-Man at the end. They're like, and even, the world could even end. And he's got the one Mind Stone that Vision pulled out of his own fucking head. He's like, I got to atone for what I did. He suicides himself. Oh my God, Vision.
Thanos himself. I mean, he gave himself the blue screen of death. That was there was a lot of shit. Like when seeing Scarlet Witch as a zombie, I was like, this is
She was the scariest one.
And my exact note was, she's the most terrifying thing this side of Thanos. And then I see the T-Man as a fucking zombie. I'm like, wow, they tickled all of my little fancies throughout this entire thing, just going through the Infinity War like timeline, right?
Exactly.
And I appreciate it. I hope I don't think they'll keep going back to it. I think this was a special thing, and it made it, I think, a little more enjoyable. They have that's the cool thing about Infinity War in general, is I think all of where those characters were at that time, it made it possible where Black Panther's around and he could be kidnapped, and Wanda and Vision knew each other, and they have that relationship that you kind of see fleshed out in WandaVision. Also, the Maneater line, when he talks about the Maneater, I fucking love Hall & Oates.
How about the Black Panther line at the end where he was talking about death, and it just seemed like one of those, like, almost from Star Wars when Mark Hamill says, like, nobody's ever really gone. It's like, damn, this is fucking, did they know, like, that this was gonna hit? Like, did they pull that line from somewhere else? Because it just seems so like fitting for real life and like all of that.
I've been trying to figure out when these were all made too.
Yeah.
Like when they actually, because with animation and stuff like that, I don't know how it all goes. Vision Thanosing himself was just incredible. And we've said this, I said this, I know the first time we saw the Hulk. More Hulk is better. That's one of the big triumphs of, I think, the animated series is it's so much easier just to throw the Hulk in. You don't really get to see him just beat the shit out of things like you would. It doesn't have the same effect as when he's just hammering a human Logan. You know what I mean? But just being able to see him, and he comes off in the Infinity War. I thought we were going to get a zombie Hulk as well, which scared the shit out of me.
Well, I thought he turns into the Hulk to prevent himself from getting bitten, I think, by Wanda. Like, and she bites his arm when he's the Hulk.
Yeah.
And he's like, nice save, buddy. I thought, did she just bite the Hulk but not Banner? So the next time he turns into the Hulk will be a zombie. And I thought, like, the team would, oh, my God, he's a fucking zombie. We got to turn away. And they have to turn him back into Banner somehow. But that obviously didn't happen. I'm excited for She-Hulk, though, because we're supposed to get more Mark Ruffalo and Hulk in that. So hopefully they'll set that up somewhere.
The Hulk is really, it's like trump card they haven't played because none of the movies really hit, right?
Yeah.
Out of his movies. And then he was in Ragnarok. He was in, Avengers and stuff like that. But we don't see him. They're two masterpieces. Hulk's not really the Hulk. Even, I actually rewatched Endgame, shocker, the other day, the portal scene. And I'm like, you don't really see Hulk there at all. You don't really see him fighting. I mean, granted,
he was trapped underground, and because he had just done the snap, his arm is all broken. Yeah,
he's playing hurt. He's at 60% because he snapped half the universe.
You know
back.
what, guys? I made the big play, so I'm gonna chill back here.
Hulk's limping. He's only
like,
playing.
I'll send Cat back later. You know what? I got the late shift. Yeah,
it's football season here right now. It's like Hulk is coming in on third downs in the red zone. He's not coming in. He's Gronk when like the back's been acting up and it's the end of the season.
To make a wrestling reference, he's Brock Lesnar on a part-time schedule. He'll come in 5 times a year. You can still put the strap on him if you want because he's strong, but he's not going to be doing all the full-time work anymore.
If you see the Hulk, that means someone's paying money for a pay-per-view. He's not doing it for a fucking
He'll
Raw
come in,
or
hit an
SmackDown.
F5, but then he's leaving. All right, just one F5, he's leaving. Now let's bring KFC in and debate some Marvel Barstool what ifs.
Fellas, the sport of business means demanding excellence from your craft and wardrobe. Your fits need to be versatile, blending timeless style and comfort so that you look as good as you feel. For that, there is Cuts Clothing. I wear Cuts Clothing constantly. Like I said, it's such versatile stuff. You could wear it to the bar, you could wear it to dinner, you could wear it to work, you could even wear it to the gym if you want. Kind of looks like Brian Danielson, was wearing Cuts Clothing at AEW All Out. He came out in the street clothes, but he could still wrestle in them. So he might have been wearing Cuts. I don't know if I could definitely sign him on as like someone that wears Cuts, but I'm just going to say a soft endorsement from Brian Danielson. In 2016, Cuts founder Steve Borelli, who I've told you about before, set out to create clothes ready for every occasion the modern man faces. He started by reinventing the t-shirt. The end result, he got what GQ calls the only shirt worth wearing. That's right. If GQ is calling you the only shirt worth wearing, what are you doing? I mean, you got to get on this. This is like some James Bond. He wears only what GQ says is worth wearing. So if you want to be James Bond, get some Cuts Clothing. Go to cutsclothing.com/basement right now and get yourself some clothes that are not just a lifestyle. It's not just clothing. It is office leisure apparel for the sport of business. cutsclothing.com/basement. You'll get 15% off the only shirt worth wearing. That's an amazing deal. Go there now, cutsclothing.com/basement for My Mom's Basement. Of course, you'll get 15% off. Great deal. Get yourself some Cuts Clothing.
All right, welcome back to the show. KFC has now joined us to talk about some Barstool what ifs.
I unfortunately didn't get a chance to watch this week's episode in time, but zombies is something I didn't even consider the idea of like genre what ifs, where it's like we're doing I just thought it would be within the Marvel world. We changed the pieces and the names and a couple storylines, but now I'm thinking like, oh, could we do like medieval Marvel? Could we do, all this shit? You could do anything, fantasy, Game of Thrones. A Game of Thrones Marvel crossover would be pretty fun.
Every time
Pretty sick.
We could right some wrongs. We could use the time stone to go back and redo season 8.
Oh shit! And then Thanos winds up at the throne at the end.
Fuck you, Bran. Imagine that if he's like, I think it should be Bran the Broken, and then all of a sudden a portal opens up. You would just chop his little fucking cripple head off.
All you fucking haters. You look like Bran. You're fucking Bran's doppelganger, so I don't want to hear anything out of you. And I called that shit
You
two
did.
seasons
You did.
earlier.
Well, you know what the problem was? You were the leader of the bandwagon, but like nobody wanted the bandwagon to come to fruition.
I don't even know if I did at that point, but I was just like, fuck everybody. Everyone's crying about like.
How did you know that?
Remember his
it just
weird
like
stoner ass at the end too? Like he would just show up in the background of scenes.
that last season was
Third
so
Flaws at
brutal.
Night.
What was so cool about the bandwagon was it had so much potential because he can warg and he can do like the cool shit, and then except they just didn't do any of that.
No,
It was
he wrote
honestly
the book. That was
Yeah,
that
he wrote
thing.
the fuck-
They made him George
had
R.
the
R.
nicest
Martin.
story. It was honestly
It would be like, if Thor didn't use his hammer. If fucking, if these guys didn't use their mutant capabilities. It's crazy.
Well, I didn't realize Marvel Zombies was actually a comic book, and it was written by Robert Kirkman,
Oh,
who
wow, I
did
didn't
The
know
Walking
this either.
Dead and Invincible. I didn't know until today. Shout out to a My Mom's Basement listener, actually, Stephen Quiglia, and he said they took some of it straight up from that. The Black Panther stuff in this episode is straight from that. He said if you dig zombies, if you dig Marvel, the run by Robert Kirkman is well worth a read. The Fantastic Four are also super involved in that.
Cool.
They're not in this episode, but
Very cool.
The first what if I wanted to bring up involves Handsome Hank, and I just what was that? You saw a bug?
get closer. No, get close. It was not picking. It wasn't picking up.
Oh, gotcha.
He goes, "What is there, a bug?"
I thought there was a
Bob
bug.
doesn't fuck with bugs. You
Yeah.
can tell.
I hate bugs, man. I hate bugs.
What if? Oh man, remember that time your apartment was infested with the bugs in the mail?
Oh, don't even bring it up. Don't bring it up. Don't.
Right. First
There are bugs in
Barstool.
this episode, by the way. Back-to-back what if episodes with bugs, and I didn't like either.
Yeah.
I didn't like any of them. First what if involves Handsome Hank, and I just walked up to him and I read it to him because I wanted to get his take on it. Someone wrote in, they said, what if Hank had listened to Dave when he got fired? I went up to Hank and I said, what do you think about that? And he said, history has changed that up a bit. He said, Dave told him, I think the only way to get this through to Gaz is if you just stop showing up, so I don't want to see you around anymore. Hank was like, what does that mean? So Hank hit up Gaz, and Gaz was like, no, just keep coming in. So really, Gaz is, I think, the watcher who interfered.
He shouldn't. He should have just let history take its course. But Gaz is all about self-preservation, and he's like, if this means that Dave gets a point across on me, then like fuck that. So you just keep coming, kid.
Gaz is the watcher, but he also I can't do anything. He's like, no, you think he'll be like, oh no, I can't interfere, but he's interfering on the back end. He's texting. You don't see him actually doing shit.
You know what's crazy about this? What if it's like a rare trade where both sides win? Like, who would be worse off? Kind of a coin flip. Like Hank would be like, dead in the gutter probably, right? Or
Maybe no windows still.
Yeah, like living in an apartment with no window, selling museum tickets, breaking into the Boston Garden with a butter knife.
Yeah.
But Barstool probably doesn't have Pardon My Take. Yeah. And those guys probably would have gone on to succeed no matter what, but that special mix of magic that they have that created the #1 podcast in the world might not happen. So who really loses worse in that one? It's hard to say. Both sides would have been fucked.
That is a butterfly. Hank is a butterfly in this effect, and it fucks everything up. And hey, the road to Milton to New York City just wasn't built overnight, and it took a lot of bricks to be laid, and it wasn't just Dave laying them, right?
No, and it was a lot of people. Bricklayers getting fired and just laying bricks anyway. I mean, people who just work here for free, where it's like, well, I'm just gonna keep coming. It's like, the amount of pro bono work and shit like that.
I mean, we could have swapped this around a little bit. By the way, shout out to Terry Hesticles. He was the one who sent it in.
Nice.
Great name there. We could swap it around and say, what if Riggs fired me when he wanted to? There was that time where, I said I was at the math lab, but then he said I went to go see Star Wars, which was kind of true, but not true. I, spent all day at the math lab. He called the math lab. They said I wasn't there. If he had fired me, I might have just kept showing up. I might have emailed you, and I might have been like, hey, can I be your intern now? Can I be your intern now?
Your path would have tweaked a little bit, but there's the variant lines that go joing, and then there are ones that are kind of zoop. You would have been
slight,
you probably just would have found your niche maybe a little bit quicker, to be honest, or maybe you would have been so disgruntled and you would have quit, and then you would have joined
Deadspin.
You would have joined the graveyard, the zombies of Riggs's fired producers. What if the island of misfit fired producers from Riggs rebelled one day and came into the office?
Oh my god.
There's a few. There's more than a few, right?
Oh, there's like a starting five.
There's a
I
I
think.
mean, yeah, I think you could get like a Julia Louis-Dreyfus to round them all up in a future cinematic event.
Robbie's life was like be born ? Barstool. He was gonna be Barstool no matter what. That is for sure.
I was just like retelling this story to some people that I had met for the first time this past weekend, and it always is strange when I get to the point where I'm like, and I finally got the email back from Big Cat when I was 14, and he said they couldn't hire me, but I took that as a great sign.
Yeah, I mean, it's true though. It's like, not yet, basically, is what I was told.
I don't know if I ever told this to anyone, but there was a time when I was like, it's like Dave would be like, blog for Barstool if you want to get here, do whatever you have to do. I was gonna, at one point, I had thought about just doing the Fight Club where you show up at the porch and just stay there, go home, and I'm not leaving. And I was like, if it ever comes to it, could I do that? I was like, I think I was gonna I was honestly like, it was in like the realm of possibilities.
You know what? The right time, like those moves either work or like horribly backfire.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I understand you're trying to be like persevere here, but like stop fucking emailing me, Or it can be like, yo, this kid emails me t-shirts ideas every day.
I think there was a little bit of
time.
both.
Like if you do it now, it's like, dude,
Can't do it
no,
now.
it's
We are
like
not
that
where we were in
anymore.
Milton. Yeah, not at all.
Not the way to get in anymore. Now it's the way to like tweet things and like make content out of our content and just kind of show it to us, and you'll probably get a job that way.
Use whatever like hot social media app is going and use it well.
Yeah.
Mackenzie did that, and that's the way.
Or you look like a video game character, as we've said often about Coach Doug's.
Yeah, too.
Go viral for the most preposterous reasons. And you can get a job on the spot, basically, off of the dude from San Francisco, right?
That was crazy.
Yep.
That was nuts.
The next one, very related to this episode, what if there were a zombie breakout at HQ? Now, this gets brought up often. What if there were Barstool Hunger Games, Barstool Survivor, Barstool this? People always say, the Zero Blog 30 team, they would persevere, they would be the leaders. What if it was at HQ? Chaps is in Texas. Kate's now a new mother. Cons is probably trying on suits somewhere. What if they're not here?
Kate's a zombie.
Yeah,
She's a parent.
Kate
All the
already is a
parents here
zombie.
are zombies.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm a zombie. I've been up since 5:30 this morning. So
What do you think
and
happens?
the zombies are fighting each other?
What? Yes.
Yeah,
What's the
okay.
best?
Who makes
what's
it
the
out
best
alive,
hideout
basically?
here in the office? Who makes it out alive?
Well,
Who takes charge? You think?
the Yak team has strength in numbers because there's like 35 people on that show. I walk by and that panel just grows wider and wider
It's
every
a
day.
Royal Rumble. They
The
could
other
do their
day
own Royal Rumble.
The other day I walked in, I don't even know what show it was. It was Owen, Rhea, Brandon Walker, KB, Dukes, Rudy, and then I came in as a guest. I was like, what is this panel?
It sounds like a random name generator at Barstool.
It really was. So they have strength in numbers. I feel like I've always said that
KFC radio studio is a good hideout.
we have a good like stronghold, and we'd be the guys be like, I'm sorry, we can't let you in. Like there's only enough food for four. You'd be like, please. I'd be like, all right, Bob, you can get in here, but like you're out.
That's why I said that Team KFC a long time ago for that zombie outbreak.
One day it'll pay off.
I knew
You
the
and Trent
stronghold
one day,
would be,
you get the hookup. We would barricade ourselves in there. We would drink, whatever beers in our little mini fridge and eat whatever we got, whatever snacks would be out. Well, on all sorts of 3G. But I think
that would be like the zombie land. He wants the Twinkies. That would be for us the 3G.
we're running out there just because we got munchies. I think we would hold out because of our location. But to me, brother, when the zombies come, cashing out one way or another.
Yeah.
However I can, I'll find a way to kill
swan
myself.
dive into a pit of them. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not the type of guy who's I will not survive. Life does not find a way with me. I'm not gonna. I'd rather not live a life of anxiety and all that. So.
I think I'm your leg is broken on the Oregon Trail. You're dead.
See ya.
Yeah. I feel like KB would be the how Danny McBride in This Is the End, they just find him like in the house and they're like, oh my God, you've been here the whole time? Like, I feel like KB would be like, oh my God, you're here. Mantis probably somewhere in the office
God,
still
sleeping.
Yeah.
him and Nick are definitely like a pocket of the office of the survivors. They are like the kings of them. It's kind of a Mad Maxian feel,
Well,
right?
Yeah,
I could see them being like, oh, we have the antidote right here the whole time. You guys didn't know? Like,
yeah.
We've got the thing. Just put it in. We're good. I also I got to say, shout out to my team captain. I just think he can do anything now. Rudy is just well equipped to do anything, I think. And so I'm going to ride with him.
Feeling that. Yeah, still trying to shake that loss off. Honker's got our next match today. Not to date
You're not
this,
alone,
but-
brother.
Oh, stop.
Everyone kept talking about an upset week one. I
Yeah.
said, give it a couple weeks. It's not an upset.
Yeah.
It's an admirable loss for you guys.
This kills Bob. I know the honkers. They like to honk a lot. That's
We like
the
to
perfect
honk.
name for
A
them.
lot of
I kind of like
honking.
to see them getting the mute button.
We'll
put
be
on.
honking. By the time this airs, we'll probably have already honked. That's what I'll say.
I'm gonna
about
honk
that.
myself later tonight.
Clem, you got some?
I had one this. So this one's been kind of bandied about on Twitter. A couple people were tweeting it, but I had this one a while back. What if Weird Haircut Seth threw the ball 60 yards?
Oh, what would the reaction? Let's literally do it. So it was, what an idiot! What a fucking idiot! That was the famous vine that came out of that. So let's say airs it out. Camera spins to Dave Portnoy. What does he say instead? Like,
What an arm! What a fucking arm!
no, because
He's a genius.
Because
No.
he would been
defeated.
wrong. He would
Yeah.
have been. He would have been like
His jaw would just be on the ground.
What, no. What he would have said is, he would have been like, "That's not really 60. Like that. Who measured that?
Yeah.
That wasn't 60." He would
Throws
have.
the neck brace on because that always came out whenever he was wrong.
He would have said it was 59 and a half. He would have had some excuse, or you know what? He could have said, "That's my campaign manager. That's my manager, man.
he
See,
coulda.
we can do anything here." Like,
And that's what happens. Dave Portnoy becomes the mayor of Boston.
Oh my
And
God!
because of that,
He turns it into a campaign ad.
Yep.
He
And
immediately turns to the camera.
gets the
and he's like,
signatures needed, right?
Yeah.
And Weird Haircut Seth, he's out grinding. Dave's grinding. The motivation becomes the next mayor of Boston. And Dave's always Barstool first and foremost. But you just cannot have like the same focus, right?
Yeah.
So maybe the trip to the chicken fries trip doesn't happen. Don't meet up with Jared Lorenzen. Churn doesn't get the call.
Everything.
So there you go, kind
bad
of like with
butterfly
Hank.
effect.
And then
Yeah.
like
How
Seth
about
is like
this?
his Frankie kinda.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Frankie's
It's
just
like right-hand guy.
flipping pizzas forever, you know.
Yep.
Here's actually a kind of a serious what if to play off of that. Weird Haircut Seth throws the football 60 yards. Dave Portnoy becomes the mayor of Boston. Just several months later, he is the mayor of Boston during the marathon bombing.
Oh my God! I mean,
That was like directly after
That was
that
after
mayoral
that?
race.
that would.
Could you
be-
imagine if Dave Portnoy was at the helm of Boston during a terror event?
People would probably find a way to blame it on Barstool.
Oh, sure.
They would say
Sure.
Barstool ruined everything, but I mean, he would probably give a good speech
Yeah.
in the lead up.
Yeah.
He's a good rile up guy to
he
go
was-
back to Endgame when he's like he's pretty good at that. I think Scott Lang says about Captain America. Like, that's what I said about Dave after BVT got canceled. I was like, damn, Dave's pretty good at that, huh?
And he was always to rely on his cabinet guy. I think that was his plan for
Yeah.
mayor anyway. So, the police still would have done their thing, but Dave Portnoy would have been given
Someone
been on
would have
the
played
scanner
in the
with a bloody
Wahlberg movie.
nose. Huh?
In the Wahlberg movie, someone would have played him.
Yes, definitely. Definitely.
And the thing about like Big Cat's still manhunting the whole time. Dave's still
Yeah.
manhunting the
Yeah.
whole time. Like that kind of shit. Dave would have been manhunting as mayor or as a blogger. Like
Yep.
that didn't matter.
Here's another what if. So I was watching the 9/11 Turning Point on Netflix, right?
Yep.
And they kept showing the passports and the visas of the terrorists, and all of them were like 5'4".
Oh, really?
5'6".
Bunch of short guys?
Tiny guys that were considered the muscle because there was one guy who was flying the plane and then they were the muscle. And so I started thinking maybe Mark Wahlberg wasn't really lying
maybe
when
he
he
coulda.
said this would have gone down differently. So what if Mark Wahlberg stopped the hijacking of Flight 93 or any of the planes actually?
Statues everywhere,
I mean,
right?
that statues everywhere.
Everywhere.
There's a chance he becomes the president. There's a chance he becomes something bigger than the president.
You know how the world looks in the MCU after Iron Man makes the sacrifice? Like
That's
but
Wahlberg.
Wahlberg.
Yes, everywhere.
Wahlburgers
He's our-
takes over McDonald's.
all day.
Yeah.
The New Kids on the Block.
Freedom
rise
fries.
Again. The Wahlburger goes through the roof. Everyone's waking up at 3:30 in the morning. We're living on his schedule now because everybody wants to be Marky
Mark gets over on Drake, like disses him in a rap battle. You know,
He would be the king. He would be like The Rock now.
I would
Remember
love
how
to
much
see that
how much
variant
attention
universe.
The Rock got just for tweeting about Osama bin Laden
Yeah.
first?
He broke
Imagine
it.
if The
He had the
Rock,
scoop.
Mark Wahlberg stopped 9/11. The hero of all heroes.
You guys said it perfectly. Like Tony Stark, and before Endgame, it was always Harry Stamper. Where I was like, the world would have to have Harry Stamper Day. His birthday is a worldwide holiday. Everyone's off from school. Everyone just does whatever. It's
It
a
would
holiday.
be a Mark Wahlberg day, wouldn't it? Like
Yeah.
9/11 would be. Never forget what Wahlberg did for us.
When's Mark Wahlberg's birthday? That would be like
That would be a national holiday.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Let's see.
How old is Wahlberg? You think?
I would bet high
50?
I would bet high 40s, low 50s.
June 5th, 1971. So 50, just turned 50, right?
Yeah.
Fucking Price is Right. Give me the sofa.
Yeah. Give me a sofa.
This Wikipedia would be a lot longer too. I mean, it's not.
Oh
It's,
my
it's by
God,
no
yeah.
means paltry, but you saved the
I mean,
fucking.
he would be
stop
an
terror.
icon. He'd have a head on Mount Rushmore.
I
There'd be
heard
5
that.
things on Mount Rushmore.
I heard
Yeah.
that all of the terrorists got their fake IDs from down the shore in Jersey, and that's why they're so strict about it down there at the Avalon clubs and all that stuff. It's pretty
all of their fake.
Oh no! Oh no, Quigs.
But I mean, since we were like growing up, I got my fake ID. I think the summer of 2020 from Canal Street. And then
Wait, what? The summer of 2020?
2000. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
2000.
2000. that was
funny
really
because
fucking weird.
That was just like, I knew what he
the
meant. Like
fuck?
dad brain. I was just like, nah, he didn't mean 2020.
Yeah, the summer 2000, and then all the kids that are coming next year. They're like, you can't get fake IDs.
Yeah,
anymore,
I got
and
one
as well
from
you shouldn't.
a kid, my buddy, who had a roommate in NYU who was like a genius, and this was back when before the old IDs. Remember they had that like matte feeling to them. So he would take a Metro card and put it in the middle, and then he had that weird material that he would like glue around it, so it had the right bend and all that. I mean, it was a masterpiece.
Could it
was a work
scan?
of
Did
art.
he have something that could scan too? How did you not use Brendan's ID?
Oh, I know I did. I
Oh,
did.
yeah,
yeah.
that makes sense.
I mean, I never, I once, so in the very beginning, I had Bren's fake ID. So before he was 21, he had a fake ID that then passed to me before he could get a replacement license,
Gotcha.
and it said like 1976 or something.
Oh,
I was
man.
like 40 or whatever on the ID, and then once he got his license, I used his permit, and once he just said he lost his license and got a replacement for me, and I was gravy for the rest of my life. I don't think I like ever got rejected anywhere.
I hated people that had the older brother. I
Yeah,
was
me
And we
too.
looked
fucking
alike
mad.
too,
Yeah,
so it
you
was
guys
like
look
it
alike,
was
too.
cake.
It was brutal for me. I at the beginning of Barstool once used Glennie Ball's fake ID and got into a place. I just took my glasses off, and I'm telling you, this ID.
I guess they don't look at
It was pretty decent for balls.
types,
It
right?
kind of looked like Glennie Balls.
Really?
It did not look like me at all. I got in. I forget what place it was, but I remember getting in. And then that was actually the infamous night where me and Riggs got into a big fight over Star Wars. And then the next day, Clem had to come over, and because me and
Smooth
Riggs
it out.
we were having a good time. We high-fived over the rebels blowing up the Death Star. And all of a sudden, he said, I don't consider any of the new movies Star Wars movies because George Lucas didn't make them. And I was like, well, they're still Star Wars. He was like, Rogue One, none of it. No
You
Star
don't say
Wars.
that in Bob's house.
Yeah, I was very upset. We got into a fight in a bar. It was all a thing. The
What
bouncers
if?
separated us. They threw us both out. No, none of that happened. But we did get into a disagreement. Yeah.
Underrated what if with this guy? Do you remember when you went at, was it Con Isles you went at?
No, I thought I was going at
there was
Con
Con Isles
Siles.
and there was
I
Captain
thought,
Cons.
I thought
and
I
he
was going
went
at Con Siles.
Whoa.
I went at Captain Cons.
Yes.
And then
love
Con
the-
Siles got
the
so mad at
characters,
me,
man.
and
Some
I
deep
was so
cuts.
the back and forth we had. He was like, who are you chump or something? And I was like, you'll know my name, brother, I swear. And he's like, I don't think I will. And I was like,
does.
trust me,
He
you
does.
will.
He did.
Yeah,
He-
yeah.
Con
I know
Siles
his
knows
name
you.
though, Con Siles. Still got it out for that guy. No, I don't care.
This was Big Cat tweeted this Saturday morning, I guess it was, 8:32 a.m. What if I just didn't lose a single bet today? And that spiraled the what if Big Cat had the sports almanac and lived like Biff Tannen?
We've all had that thought. Anyone who watched Star Wars,
Yeah.
Back to the Future 2 is always like, if I got the handbook. or
If
whatever,
you had the almanac, how often would you sprinkle in a loss to keep the people being like, I don't know, he does lose sometimes.
You have to, because I don't know if you've seen the James Franco series, 11, like 363.
Yeah.
He goes back and he immediately has all the winning bets. Someone like gave it to him. So he puts in like a crazy parlay on a boxing match. Like, I bet he wins in the 8th round. I bet this happens. And
They just
immediately
don't give it to him.
everyone in town is like, what the fuck happened there,
Yeah,
buddy?
yeah,
He said,
yeah.
don't cause any big distraction. So I think you got to mix in a pretty decent amount of losses.
Yeah, like every week you just got to throw
You
out
got to
some L's.
figure it. Yeah, you got
Just
to
make
figure
them
out how to
smaller and-
slowly but surely like accumulate.
And then I think what
gross.
you do is one day have a bananas parlay, which
Yeah, yeah,
is
yeah.
okay to like. I'm a gambler, you guys know me, and then one day throw out the big one. But I also think that Vegas and sometimes it would never happen here at Penn because they're just loyal and honorable people. But when Vegas found out people were counting cards and they were just like, no, you can't do that.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna beat us using your brain? No, not
Dana
allowed.
White's banned
You
from
know?
a bunch of casinos. He doesn't even count cards. He just wins.
Who's this?
Dana White.
Really?
Yeah, he wins in blackjack, so he's banned from
That's
the
what I
Palm.
mean.
He's
So they can
banned
just
from multiple
take
casinos.
their ball and go home, and it's like,
If
so
you
what
start
if-
winning, you're out.
Yeah, one day they could just be like, this parlay makes no sense. We're not giving you your $20 million. But But yeah, if you play it right, you could make a shit ton of money. And Dan the winner. I mean, it's much like a what if with me and my sports teams.
Mm-hmm.
It's Dan with money, but all the shots of him like laying on the street in the Wisconsin sweater,
like shots
the one
of
with
him
the
like
hair.
jumping
Yes.
up.
Like wouldn't it be great to have a Marty McFly moment? The one where Dave has the look of the devil and Dan's all dejected, and then the picture fades and like Dan comes up and Dave goes down.
Oh,
Yeah. As like Earth Angels playing in the background.
Someone has to fucking Photoshop that. Where,
Yeah.
Dave has the sad face.
Nick Hammy will do that. Like he doesn't have enough to do. I'll tell him this, and he'll be like, "Oh, I'm gonna do that till 5 a.m. tonight."
Our friends at HelloFresh are back. I am so happy to have them back. You guys know, if you follow me on Instagram, I was a huge fan of HelloFresh, still am. Making the meals, cooking the meals, it's so easy. They give you the instructions. They give you all of the pre-measured ingredients so that you don't have anything left over at the end of the meal. And the meals are restaurant quality without sacrificing the price. It really is true. Getting HelloFresh meals is actually 30% cheaper than shopping at your local grocery store. It's like 80% cheaper than going to a restaurant. It's crazy. And like I said, the meals are actual restaurant quality, so you don't sacrifice any of that. These are delicious. If you go to HelloFresh.com/14Robbie, that's 14ROBBIE at HelloFresh.com, you will receive 14 free meals and free shipping on your HelloFresh order. This is America's #1 meal kit. It's America's #1 meal kit for a reason. HelloFresh is the best in the business, and you're going to want to try this out. And what better time to try it than when I'm giving you 14 free meals? It's crazy. You get two meals a week. I'm feeding you guys for 7 weeks. It's pretty damn good. Come on, you got to admit, pretty damn good. HelloFresh.com/14Robbie. Get your 14 free meals and free shipping on me. Now let's get back into the show.
What if ESPN never got rid of Van Talk?
Yeah.
You just had the PFT behind the
PFT
blog. I
behind
just
the
listened
blog.
to
It's
that on the way, and it was
unbelievable.
awesome.
He was incredible, and we talked about it. And he was kind of like, he after the fact, he had the sight to be like, this was never gonna work. But in the moment, he was like, I made it, like to ESPN, like my dream. And now, he's like, it never was gonna work, and like we shouldn't have even, got our hopes up, sort of thing. But in the moment, obviously. But I think, again, it's like best for everybody. Like, I don't think you want to be on an ESPN show anymore.
Yeah.
I think you want to be PMT.
It definitely added
skyrocketing
something.
on your own, and like you're not on the mothership and just underneath like Scott Van Pelt and the big dogs. Like you're your own. You're your own thing. So,
And what he said
I would've-
behind the blog too, saying like, rather get canceled after 1 than get canceled after like 8.
I
line,
think getting
line.
canceled after 1, he said, was because that is a network issue and not a you issue. But more importantly, I think it's better. It's funnier to be walking around. It's kind of like it's like a trivia answer. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's
How many
objectively funny,
episodes?
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many episodes were there?
And they
One.
did the event like on the anniversary. They did an event at the Gramercy a few years ago where they
Yes.
like sold it out, did a screening of the episode.
Yes,
we still
I think
play
that's
at
so
Pump Pump
funny.
shows. We play the theme song and people like go crazy. They still know
Now
the
it
lyrics.
becomes like a cult classic thing because
exactly
of the one episode.
There's the unaired episode 2 that's like so still
just
thing
floating in the ether. Yep.
Exactly. That's like sort of a funny thing about it.
How about what if? Have you seen how much Dukes looks like Kid Leroy? Do you know Kid Leroy?
Yeah, I know Kid Leroy. I guess he kind of does,
Bro,
doesn't he?
I was trying to think of like a some sort of hypothetical where Dukes becomes Kid Leroy. He posted a picture yesterday where I was like, I can't even believe this. It was him and Obi Toppin. I actually still don't know to this day if I was like, I mean, that's fucking Kid Leroy.
I saw the comparison.
Well, I think that is Kid Leroy.
Well, that's what I was.
right?
That's what I was wondering. I was like, but I don't know because like, is that Dukes or Kid Leroy?
That looks a lot like Dukes.
That's Kid Leroy, right?
Oh shit! What if Dukes is Kid Leroy and
That's
he's
what I thought.
It's all like PFT was just talking about commitment to the character.
What if Dukes and Kid Leroy had one of those Jason Bateman, Ryan Reynolds, Freaky Friday movie swaps where all of a sudden
Or
Kid
it's
Leroy
like
comes in.
The ancient one split them.
Yes. That's what's happened. And there's a good Dukes and a bad Dukes. It's Kid Leroy who's living like a millionaire. He's breaking the rules of the universe. And there's just like idiot Dukes getting suspended over here at Barstool.
I felt bad for him when he was suspended because when Dave talked about the meeting where he came in and he was just like, I don't know what happened. I'm just dumb. Like,
You know what though?
Dude.
I ultimately don't feel bad for him because there is no way payroll stopped his paychecks. No chance.
Oh, true.
There was
Yeah,
no
yeah, yeah.
chance that
That's
was
a
an
good point.
unpaid suspension.
Yeah.
You got a month vacation.
I'd get suspended for a month.
Hell yeah.
What do I got to do?
I was going to say, how can we do that? I got to drop a slur or something.
Yeah, just go talk to Large. He could probably figure out a few different ways to get you in trouble.
Yeah, true. He would be a good mentor.
We had a couple come in. What if these are sports ones? The Red Sox never traded Babe Ruth, so then it's like, do the Red Sox then become what the Yankees were?
That's one of those macro what ifs. That
Yeah.
changes the lives of so many people.
I mean, that changes the entire region
millions?
of Boston and
yeah.
New York. If
Do you
Boston-
then become Portnoy? Are you then like the scrappy New York?
We always said that like the New York Irish guy and the Boston Jewish guy didn't make sense. It should be we should have
opposite.
swapped.
Yeah,
you know,
true.
I should be the Boston Irish guy. He should be the New York Jew. So like that could have come about. Boston could have been what they are now and what New York is. You know, New York's been the city of losers. Boston has been the winners, except it just would have happened in the 1900s instead of the 2000s. But that's, Babe Ruth as a Red Sox, his whole life is.
Babe Ruth probably like doesn't get as like go off the deep end as much too, right? Because you're not in the big city. I mean, Boston's no small town or anything, but it's not New York fucking city.
And
right?
what if he like pitched instead of bat? Instead became a batter, and there's a lot you can do. I mean,
He's
sports
Ohtani
can go
all of a sudden.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically what if Ohtani? What if Ohtani is?
What if
Babe
Ohtani
Ruth
was
and
fat?
reincarnated? Yeah. What if Ohtani was fat and ate hot dogs and was a woman, like a drunk womanizer?
It's funny to think about.
I have like a conspiracy theory that Babe Ruth is a time traveler.
Yeah.
And he went back in time and said, what should I do? And you go back in time, you're like, I'm physically better than everyone in that era.
Yes.
Wow.
You know what?
Being a baseball player in the 20s, that's like the dream life.
Well, it's what we just said.
It's a movie I'd like to see.
So Ohtani is the time traveler, and he went back as Babe Ruth, right? And it's what we said about like you got to sprinkle in some losses. He was like, all right, I'll get fat, because I can't be shredded. Like if you sent an athlete back now, they'd look like
they'd
a
be
fucking
like,
Marvel superhero.
What are you?
It's like we just like lift a couple weights here and there. And these guys are sleeping in hyperbaric chambers and doing injections and shit. So he goes back and he's like, I'm gonna hit 150 home runs a year. So let me like eat some hot dogs and get drunk, but I'll still hit like 60.
Yep. More than every other team, right? Other than certain teams.
That makes more sense. That's like ancient alien shit where it's like, how was Da Vinci so smart? It makes more sense that aliens planted knowledge in his brain than he was just smarter than everyone. That's Babe Ruth.
And then someone, Allison said, what if Steph Curry fell to the Knicks? I'm convinced his ankles just
terrible.
explode and
yeah.
he never like recovers because they completely mismanage his health.
No doubt.
His life.
Oh, no. You know what? What if Steph Curry fell to the Knicks? The Knicks wouldn't have drafted him. It would have fallen to the 9th pick. Like, they just would have passed on him there, too, because that's what they do. What if Steph Curry fell to the Knicks? They still would have drafted Ronaldo Bachman or whoever it was that year.
It was fucking, what's his name, too? The worst part, Jordan Hill. And I remember everyone had Jordan Hill. He didn't even work out for the Warriors. They take him. I thought they were going to take Jordan Hill because he kind of fit as that forward that would be in the Don Nelson system. Nope, they draft Steph Curry. You know what happens, though? I bet you Sonya and Dell are still together because it's like you don't hit that superstardom right pitch. And you're kind of just like, I mean, I don't know what went on with Dell back in the day, but that broke my heart. That was tough.
That was a very tough one.
I've just been lost for
for
30
about
seconds
2
to a minute. Kevin, thank you for joining us for the What Ifs.
Got it.
You
I got a Star
sent
Wars
me
one. We'll
into
save
a
that for
different
next
multiverse. Yeah.